Well, if you're looking forward to your first ever T20 international in Australia, if you're an Afghanistan player and an Afghanistan supporter, it's not the first 20 overs you would have wanted. It didn't even get to 20 overs. Afghanistan blown away first by the pace of Mark Wood and pace throughout that innings, including that from Sam Curran, who picks up a 5-wicket haul as Afghanistan are bowled out rather cheaply for just 114. Let's get thoughts from both Anil Kumble and Stephen Fleming on ESPN Cricket for T20 time at 112. In fact, that's unfortunate. We would have liked to see more of an Afghan fight, but they're just not in it, Anil.
Yeah, to be fair, on a pitch where it's probably the bounciest in Australia. To be playing the first T20 international against a good bowling attack like England, where Mark Wood was really quick on that surface, you could see it. And Sam Curran bowling brilliantly. 112 is not going to be enough for Afghanistan. Like we discussed, 150, 160 would have been a match, but now England, will look to sort of capitalize on the start that the bowlers have given to come back and really go after the Afghanistan bowling in the first 6 overs.
Almost seems mean, Flem, to have this fixture list with Afghanistan starting off at Perth.
Yeah, it was a tough ask. We identified it and we knew it was going to take a lot of courage and a good technique. And we saw signs of it. There's venture at the top of the order. Some of those sixes were extreme. We know they're good in the first 6 overs, but to maintain that intensity against what was a disciplined England bowling performance, sometimes you get a little bit carried away with the pace and bounce, and they adjusted. Mark Wood was in there or thereabouts, and they just created enough pressure that at some stage they were going to capitalise. It took a little bit longer than I thought, actually. The ground fielding and the catching in particular was great, but the chances didn't come until that second half of the innings, and Sam Curran was the one that I think benefited from some fine bowling up front.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sam Curran. If you are feeling like me for the Afghanistan side, almost getting a raw deal with the fixture list, maybe we have someone here who's got some influence with the ICC. Does the cricket committee have anything to do with these fixtures? We have to clarify to everyone.
No.
Yeah, well, they're tough luck. And India, watch out, play South Africa at this ground. So keep an eye out for the games at Perth. But let's give credit to England's bowlers. It's a thoroughly professional display from him. I don't think we'd expected Sam Curran to be the most potent wicket taker of the day, but it's nice to see Sam Curran back among the wickets.
Yeah, he's done really well for England since his comeback. Even in the warm-up games, he's done well, and he's deceptive. Especially on Perth, you would expect Mark Wood, like Flem mentioned. All the damage was done in the first half for Sam Curran to sort of reap the benefits of the effort put in early on. So yeah, he's done well. He bats really well, and his bowling has been really effective. He's been given a role, it looks like, in this lineup where he has to bowl the death for England. So he's done really well, and picking up 5 wickets on your first match in the World Cup is a great confidence booster.
Yeah, I know that while he was injured, he did some work with us, funny enough, for the last IPL, Flem, and he was very keen to make an impact and get back to the franchise he played before that. I guess now he's got more to his skill set. He's not just the new ball bowler. He's got a different sort of role. Are you interested?
Yeah, he did a little bit of work for me as well. So we're both in the same camp there. I think he's bowling as well as he ever has. Just before he was injured, he was, I think, nursing through a little bit, but that performance there, his pace looks good, the control looks good, his variations look quite polished, and you're right, the role is different. You would expect a left-arm swing bowler to come in at the start of the innings, but to use him late is quite different, and then also to use Stokes early caught us by surprise. So they've put a little bit of thought into it, and they've reaped the benefits in this game. There's some stiffer batting opposition to come, but certainly on that form tonight, they looked everything of equal as favourites for the tournament.
Yeah, you'd approach this chase thinking this is an opportunity to even boost our net run rate. I mean, we should go hard and get these runs.
I think they'll just bat normally. I think in any case, England batters are known to sort of go hard. So I think just bat normally, and then if you have an opportunity to finish the game early, try and finish that, because net run rate could be your benefit at any given point in time. You don't know in a tournament like this.
Yeah, I mean, is it just us sitting in studio saying, oh, they should think about net run rate on the first day of the Super 12s, Flem, or is this a relevant point that teams would be thinking from now itself? This is a tough group. We need to get these runs and think about net run rate from now?
Yeah, I think it's such an important part of this competition, any competition now, that you have to think about it, but you don't want to be that team that gets ahead of yourself. And that's always the challenge. Do we talk about it in the changing rooms or just go about our work and if it happens, it happens? But I think teams now need to be professional enough to know if they get the opportunity, they got to put the foot down halfway through the innings to try and capitalise on that. I tell you, boys, the other thing that I find interesting is the amount of outfield catches already.
Yes.
And we're looking at the size of the grounds, and the Perth ground here, very, very big either side. And the fact that England bowled to that, the number of catches that are going to areas of the ground that are a lot longer. So there's some real subtle tactics going in here that I like, and some real thought going into it. And it's going to be a key part of this tournament as you go through different grounds that have different dimensions, because the bowlers have a lot more to work with rather than, say, the Indian grounds, which are a lot smaller in diameter. Yep. So it's a good aspect to keep watching.
An excellent observation Stephen Fleming points out. We saw England's fielders stand at different spaces, 30, 40, sometimes meters inside the boundary. We're seeing some great outfielding catching also, Anil, on day one.
Oh yes, we've seen some fantastic catching. I mean, from New Zealand and today again from England. Josh Butler was a brilliant catch as well behind the stumps. Some fantastic catching. I mean, it's not just about batting and bowling. Consistent fielding throughout the tournament will be really, really handy.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on this as this tournament starts going on and we get more and more teams playing. But outfielding's already been of the highest standard. Big grounds are having their say. We'll see if they make a difference as this tournament goes deeper. So thank you to Anil Kumble and Stephen Fleming. I'm sure they will back England to get these runs. Flem, this is where I say thank you to you for fine shift put in. You're not rusty at all with your media work, mate, even though you spend more time on auction tables and draft tables of late.
Very excited that the New Zealand result gave me a bit of a boost to get through the second part of the night, mate. Nice to be back. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, my pleasure. How does New Zealand celebrate winning against Australia at Christchurch? About 6 people having a nice glass of wine quietly somewhere? That's pretty much it?
Yeah, there's a ticket parade in Christchurch down the main street tomorrow, so they'll be busy organising that. But no, there'll be a lot of excitement. There is a lot of interest in this. And rugby season's finished, and be purely focused now on the World Cup. So it's a great way to attract more viewers and get the tournament off to a good start from a New Zealand point of view.
That's as good a day as New Zealand could have had at the office. So big thank you to Stephen Fleming. He's going to be right and ready with us tomorrow for India versus Pakistan. So we'll get his company then. Anil Kumble is going nowhere. He's going to be with us for the end of the England-Afghanistan game. So do join us once we expect England to have the job done on ESPN Cricket for T20 timeout.